Kingdom Hearts 2 Critical Run. This is part 47. We're back. And joining me as always is Nero Cole. Say hi.
Howdy people, sorry for being silent for so long.
I still have finals, but we're doing this anyway.
Yeah, I have finals too, and also bad weather that disperses is set, so thank you, Snow, for screwing me over.
Oh, joy.
Alright, obligatory sound check, hang on.
Mic check! This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy
Yeah, we're
looks
good, we're good.
Alright. Alrighty, well, let's see how much Halloween Town is.
Berku is here, first one as usual. Sup, man? Good to see ya.
Does he do you just wait for us to come back every day?
No, remember, Joel, when some people are, when they're subscribed, they get the live notification that you went live.
Well, you're pretty quick then.
Yeah, remember, some people are always on YouTube watching, and sometimes they're always signed in. So
I wish my notifications were good. They're always so screwy.
Yeah, for whatever reason, your notifications come in, for me anyway, very, very weirdly. I don't know why that is.
Well, we first have to do the gummy ship mission to Halloween Town, so let's see how long this takes. I forget which one this is.
This is a much easier one than the Agrabah one.
Yeah, that's good.
You shouldn't have pretty much any issues with it.
I might be a little rusty. I haven't played in months.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done any of the streams. Yeah,
and I haven't leveled up as much as
very busy.
And I haven't leveled up as much as I would have desired.
So you may see some deaths in this stream. So look forward to that, people.
Well, we already had some deaths already.
Well, I know, but even more. I forget what count we're at. I'll have to go back to the last videos to figure that out. I'll have to tally them up by the end.
Don't they tally them up for you?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, at the end. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that.
That's true. I can let the game do my work for me. Can let the game do my work. Thank you, game, for letting me do that. Nomura, you're doing God's work.
So I realized that I made a chapter too short, so I just merged it with another chapter for my Chain of Memories story.
That's always a good thing when you can merge two sections of a story together.
Well, yeah, so that chapter is now only what, almost 4,000 words, so that's pretty within my range.
Nice.
By
the way, the last time we were...
What?
I said, since last time, a lot of Kingdom Hearts related stuff has been coming out. By the way, by the time, now that this is coming up in about 5 days, we'll be getting new Kingdom Hearts content. Or at least new, the final trailer will be premiering on the 16th.
Nice.
That is when we would be seeing the final trailer. Joel, what do you think we can be expecting on the 16th?
I think we can be expecting some footage from the final battle in the graveyard. I think we'll see some more cutscenes of the worlds. Maybe we'll finally get some Maleficent stuff. I want more of that. Aw, that'd be nice. Yeah. She hasn't been in any much.
We actually haven't gotten many Disney villain stuff, come to think of it.
And we know Randall is involved. We see Mother Goth.
We know Mother Gothel's in it.
Maybe they're trying to keep that stuff under wraps. Maybe it'll be important.
I would imagine they're probably trying to keep a lot of that stuff under wraps. Yeah, I agree. Also, Joel, I think you and I should probably talk about the fact that a lot of people think that we're going to get one more world reveal.
I don't know.
I don't think. What do you think, Joel? Is that likely?
No, I'm sort of in the negative.
I am too. Honestly, a lot of people said, oh, there's too little worlds, and I'm like, people, we've been doing Kingdom Hearts for how long? I think we're above the pay grade for the amount of Disney worlds that are in this game. I think this is the one that has the most.
I mean, we're finally getting some new Disney worlds, so it's unless they decide to bring back a classic, but I can't see that happening. So
classic Kingdom Hearts world, yeah. I mean, the only thing I can imagine them maybe announcing would maybe be Jungle Book, but even then I think that's reaching at this point.
No, I mean we're going back to Agrabah again.
No, yeah, that's what I mean, but if a new world, I think Jungle Book's likely. I think if they were going to add another classic, it'd be Agrabah.
I wouldn't mind actually, because I would love to see Agrabah in this new style.
I would especially love to see them do the King of Thieves storyline.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Considering they did Return to the Jafar, kind of, I would love to see them do King of Thieves.
You know what's sad, Cole? I feel
What?
like I'm doing a better Return of Jafar in my fanfic already.
Probably most people are doing better Return of Jafar stories in their own fanfic, Joel.
And I make Jafar pretty BA, if you know what I mean. I base him a lot on the Once Upon a Time version. And that Jafar
Joel,
means
bear in mind,
business. And that
well, remember, Joel, the Return of Jafar in this game is basically, well, it's
5
non-existent.
seconds.
He comes back for 5 seconds, gets beaten, and then he's gone.
Well, to be fair, he's in another world in my story. He's not even dealing with Aladdin.
Yeah. What else has been shown? We finally got footage of the opening. The opening looks beautiful.
And Xehanort's eyes are not yellow. At least not natural.
At least not naturally, so that at least indicates that somewhere along in his tutelage, something caused him to kind of go, Karpawi, go haywire.
He got possessed by Chernobog. That's what happened. This thing.
I would imagine it's something along those lines of he goes to the realm of darkness and just stays there a tad too long. I kind of like, darkness, I must have more, bring me more, give me more, need more, give me some more.
No, Cole. Supreme darkness. Fill me with the power of darkness.
It would be sad if that's actually the words he said that's when he got like that. That would be pretty, that would be pretty hilarious.
Of darkness. Supreme
What if that's the entire
dark.
reason he wanted that door to begin with? He wanted...
He's in love
Joel,
with
I think we
darkness.
both know what he wants. I think he wants the D.
For darkness. Alright, here we go. Time in Halloween Town. Okay, level 24. I'm level 30. That shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, you should be fine.
I've been trying to keep up a high level grade because these critical runs, you know, they will kill you if you don't do that.
Yeah, especially because when you see my level 1 crit run, yeah, you're going to see that. It's inevitable at this point. By the way, to anyone who's watching, how you are doing? Hope you're having a good holidays.
You know, Cole, part of me really still wants Ventus to be evil. It's sad, but
I
it's
did.
true.
Oh. Speaking of that, speaking of
Should
that,
probably give some context to that. Like, what the heck are you talking about? Ventus is like a little prince.
As of a couple weeks ago, as of near the end of November, Union Cross got another update, another story update, a pretty major one at that.
Somebody died.
Well, we've known that, but now we are maybe given a little more context as to who it could be.
Bye, Master Riku.
See you, Master Riku.
Well, it looks like
But,
we're all alone again. But yeah.
Well, we might. Well, who knows? We might have people pop in and out. Wait, this is kind of an odd time. But so we get the we see Lark seeing somebody, Elrina, I think is how you say her name.
Yeah.
Elrina, something like that. And apparently she or Lauriam might actually be Strelitzia's sister or brother, depending on who is actually related. One of the two of them could have been her sibling. So if that's the case, if Strelitzia is Lauriam's sister, then he probably didn't kill her.
Unless there was some weird family thing going on. It's always...
Yeah, but based on the way he moves, that doesn't seem to be the case, I don't think. And if it was Elrina, something about that seems weird. Maybe she did do it. I mean, it could prove to be why Lark's such a psychopath later on. But anyway.
I don't know. Not interesting to
But
me.
if it... Huh?
It's not interesting to me. But
I honestly, I don't think it would be that interesting if it was. It may very well. It would be interesting in the sense that it'd be the reason of why Lauriam goes bonkers.
I mean, it makes sense. That's why he goes nuts if he lost his sister. But
especially in finding out that someone was responsible for it. That he's like someone he trusted led to the death of his sister.
Right.
And I find that very, very fascinating, even if it's not Ventus.
do you think Namora would do that to Ventus?
I don't know, and that's why I'm very hesitant on really hamming up that it is Ventus, because I still don't know if Namora would really do that. Because think about it, Joel, if he does do that, what are the implications for that for 3? Think of it like that.
Oh, I got a way though. You downgrade Ventus, but you make
Vanitas.
true, but you make Roxas though the big hero if you do the whole they're two separate people thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's not really how it's played up. Actually, if we're going by Kingdom Hearts logic, then it isn't that way. So if it was Ventus, then that really is going to complicate things when we get to 3, considering Marluxia and Ventus and Roxas are front and center. So I don't know if Nomura would do that. He might, but I'm not certain about that.
I still think, though, he's gonna somehow undercut Ventus because people like Roxas way more.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I know
agree.
people who are willing to sacrifice Ventus and Roxas being the same person just to have Roxas be his own person.
And this is gonna sound. I wouldn't mind that, to be quite honest, Joel.
I thought you wanted Roxas and Ventus to be the same person.
Well, I mean that, but I wouldn't mind Roxas being more dominant than Ventus.
Well, yeah, everyone wants Roxas to be the
The sad part is, I like Ventus okay, but I prefer Roxas much more than I do Ventus. Ventus is a bit too naive for my taste, and I think the problem with that is just how Birth by Sleep is written.
True, although that kind of though, you know, my cool thing is like when Vanitas takes over Roxas' Ventus' body. Like, what if that was the real Ventus the whole time? Like, this is his true colors.
But bear this in mind, Joel. If you do that, then you're kind of undercutting Vanitas in that regard as well. If you think about it like that, because if you want Vanitas to be kind of evil sort personified, then making Vanitas just what Ventus always was, that kind of undercuts that idea, especially when I think it's even been stated that Vanitas is the dark image based off Sora when Sora entered Ventus's heart. So his darkness took on the form of Sora.
So Sora's really more evil than Ventus, I guess, if you think about it.
Exactly. The Vanitas is what evil Sora would be.
Powerful light, powerful dark.
So that's why I don't necessarily like the idea of that being what Ventus always was. Having darkness, sure, but not being what Ventus always was. Because I'm like, well, then what was the point of dealing with Ventus all this time? Then what was the point of this story?
Alright. Well, who do you think killed the sister?
If it isn't Ventus, like I said, I'm very, very hesitant on it being Ventus. I don't know if I don't even know if Elrena's even still alive at this point, because I don't know how Lauriam even gets to her.
I mean,
because think about it. If Elrena's in Daybreak Town, which by the time all the dandelions are in place, it's the Keyblade Graveyard at that point, so is Elrena even alive at that point? And if she was the one who killed Strelitzia, then what impact would that make on Lauriam on someone who's now gone? And if that's the case, why would Larxene and Marluxia even work together as nobodies later on, especially if we're going under the mindset of them having memories?
Not to mention the fact that it also ties Marluxia to Ventus because he's in the castle. I love this,
so
by the way.
At that point, I'm like... And even if that were the case, I'm not even sure why Lauriam would work with Zem, would even consider working with Zem. I would really love to know the situation on how Marluxia came under Zemus into the organization. I'd love to know that story.
And here's an even bigger question, does Marluxia recognize Roxas? Like, he sees that kid, like, holy moly,
that's the other question
you.
I have, is what memories does Marluxia actually have? What memories does Larxene have?
Because that's something I've always wanted to play with in my day stories, like going to a few worlds and having people look at Roxas going, holy moly, it's Ventus. I have not seen you in years.
Playing that with Marluxia, that would play a kind of an uneasy kind of relationship. That's a really cool idea to work with. The thing is, I'm not sure.
I actually it was for Disney characters, but yeah. Yeah, that too. Actually, it was for Disney characters, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean, but it would be cool to do it with Marluxia too. Anyway. So if it isn't Larxene, which I don't know why it would be, unless Elrena really is alive somewhere, which I don't know how that works. Anyway. It's definitely not Ethimer.
You're right. Yeah,
so
who's Ethimer?
It's not... Ethimer's the silver hair kid.
Okay, so Scarf Boy, as I call him.
Isn't he voiced by Robbie Damon?
Who's Robbie Damon?
Huh?
Who's Robbie Damon?
He's the guy who plays Peter Pan in Once Upon a Time.
Don't you mean Robbie K?
Robbie K, yeah.
I didn't know Robbie K was in Kingdom Hearts.
Well, he might. Hang on, let me look up that from real quick.
Because I know Robbie K's voice, and he's British for one thing. Unless he's putting on a very...
even British people can change their accent, Joel. Oh no, he's not voiced by Robbie K. He's voiced by Michael Johnston. But anyway,
I love Robbie K.
And and he's currently the head of he's the current head of the Dandelions. So the other two people it would be maybe Scold or Brain.
I call him Hat
And
Guy,
Brain's
but
it would probably out of the two of them it'd probably be Brain. It could be Scold.
is that the girl?
Yeah.
I don't know any of these names really well, so
I don't know either. That's why when I try saying them, I'm like, it feels so weird to say them because very little of them done with them yet. But anyway, probably Brain, Brain or at this point the two likely, honestly, are probably if we're excluding School, then probably Brain or Ventus.
So I'm a little confused about the timeline. So Vanitas is Sora's darkness, right?
Yeah. Well, he's Ventus's darkness, but he takes on Sora's persona. Think of it like that. When Sora enters Ventus's heart, or Ventus enters Sora's heart, that darkness becomes Sora's image, just grown up. But it takes the image of adult Sora.
Oh, okay. Because last time we were talking about like, how can someone so evil come from Ventus? And like, yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is like, how did Vanitas even become born from Ventus at all?
Well, I know that just technically what the story goes that Vanitas didn't have a form. He was just.
Well, yeah, originally he didn't have a form, but when Sora entered, and the more Vanitas interacted with Ventus, that's when Sora's face became Vanitas's.
I'm curious if I'm just trying to work this in my head. I'm curious if when Vanitas was first born, he didn't have much of a personality.
I would imagine that's probably, especially when we see him born, he doesn't seem to have too much of one.
It's interesting that Sora's the one who, and it's Sora's personality. But if it were dark,
giving that kind of hyper personality to that darkness, it's no wonder that Vanitas became what he is. He's literally, if darkness corrupted Sora, that's what Vanitas would be.
We all be screwed.
Yeah, exactly, because Vanitas is basically a loose cannon, especially in Aqua's story. We just see him just screwing with her. So much he's more collected with Ventus, but when it comes to with Aqua, he upright just screws with her and has no qualms about it. He actually enjoys it from what we see.
That makes putting him with Bill Cipher always hard, because like, what do you do when you have two loose cannons together? It never.
Well, the thing is, if you have two loose cannons, they would not be a really steady relationship.
Who do you think would be? Do you consider Vanitas a good planner?
Here it is, the door to Christmas Town.
I think he has the capabilities. I don't think he really gives a shit to really plan.
Year after year.
He lets someone else do the plan for him, and his interests just fall into that person's structure.
Okay, I think that's what Bill Cipher has more over him, because I feel like Bill Cipher has sort of that Joker kind of, I'm 20 steps ahead of everybody.
Because think of this, Vanitas follows whatever Xehanort tells him, but sometimes he strafes off a little bit when he sees, like, oh, I'm interested in this, I'm gonna screw with Aqua for a little bit. Because remember, we never see Vanitas deal with Terra except right at the very end, and it's a very brief fight.
Right.
He really only really messes with Aqua and of course Ventus, but more so Aqua just because that's what he wants to do. I mean, yeah, he fights Aqua more out of free choice for the most part with Aqua than he does Ventus.
Okay. I've just been thinking of certain things from my story lately, so I'm trying to just wrap my head around this new information.
I am interested though if Ilarium really is Strelitzia's sister. I'm really interested what that means for him going forward, because I think that can give him some actual good depth later on.
I've seen some great fan art already, like of him being a good brother.
Yeah, I find that a really cool idea because the way we see him, he seems way too nice, especially when he talks to Ephemer. I'm like, I feel like someone who had just killed his sister wouldn't be saying some of the things he's saying. Or had killed someone else's sister wouldn't be saying these things.
I've seen some pictures of Marluxia finding his sister again, and just, like, happy reunion, crying and such. Like, oh,
Especially considering how he talks in Chain of Memories.
how so?
Meaning he never really he hides things, but he's always kind of makes it clear that he's letting on. He's not letting on as much as he could be, but he kind of almost has reason for doing so. And if you don't know it, you're kind of just without the know-how to really get his reasoning. Almost
Right.
more, I'm holier than thou, and thus most of the stuff I say you could never understand. But here, when he's in, when Lauriam's there, I'm like, you seem like you're not that.
Right.
And if that is, and I find it interesting of that, like his, him losing his sister kind of pushed him to that.
I feel like I'm just cruising through this, Cole, because I have not been paying attention to the game. I've just been listening to you. And,
Oh wow, I didn't even realize you were at Christmas Town.
I mean, we're doing good discussion. I'm probably gonna die soon because I said that, but oh well.
Be careful about the, careful about the Pop Goes the Loser thing, whatever the fuck that thing's called.
Because I've sort of been, maybe I don't want to make Vinny as the incarnation of evil, but just keep him as like Sora's darkness, and maybe put Bill Cipher as that character. He would
I
work.
would say, Joel, if I were you, I would go with the idea of Bill Cipher kind of being that character. Give more credence to Bill Cipher, because honestly, think of it like this: if Vanitas really is Sora's dark side, and he comes off as being so insane, I'm like, then what does that really say about Sora? Because think about that. Because if we're saying that about Sora, then thematically that doesn't line up, because even then, Sora's not entirely that personification of good, no matter what game it is. Especially if we're going by Chain of Memories and 2 alone, he's not that.
So maybe keeps Vanitas more of that ambiguous Kylo Ren kind of character.
Yeah, I think that fits Vanitas a bit better, to be quite honest. I feel like because the moment you have too many of those crazy kind of lunatics character around, the more your readers can get desensitized to all that. I mean, I remember Arrow Season 3 where people just, the explanation that was played up to is that, oh, they're just crazy. They're just crazy.
Yeah.
And that's a really bad crutch to lean on, because then you start desensitizing your audience to that. And the moment you start desensitizing your audience to that is the moment your story becomes less enjoyable to read.
Well, hello everyone.
If I do that, then maybe making the whole Shutterbox thing would actually be easier and streamlined.
Probably, yeah.
Your name?
Sora, sir.
The other thing you and I should probably say, Joel, is that now that
According to my list,
now that we have seen some of the opening,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the more and more I see some of that beginning stuff, the more I think the more dead certain I am that I think Ericus is the first person we play as.
I hope the tutorial's not too long, but
I don't think the thing is, if it is, the thing is we know we're dealing with central characters.
fair point.
Especially because we're dealing with Xehanort himself before he kind of became as screwed up as he was.
Oh, cool! I got a weird one for you. What if it is what if we play as young Xehanort?
That could be actually pretty damn interesting.
Like you're always saying Ericus, and like, what if it's young Xehanort? Like, he's more the star, kinda. It's his saga.
That would be interesting. We start playing as the main villain and then go play as the main hero for the rest of the game. That'd be an actually really refreshing thing to do.
Because if we do in the past, he's not technically the villain. He's not.
Yeah.
He's just a person who's just interested in things.
He's got curiosity. He's very, very curious. Because when we see him looking up at the stars, that strikes me as someone who has immense curiosity.
Like Sora, or even
But something happened between his training and him going back to Destiny Islands, because the line says this world is just too small. Something had to have happened, because when he's there, he has the orange eyes.
I was like, in my story, it's gonna be because Bill Cipher.
So we know somewhere in between there, something happened.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was if something that caused the death of their master.
Right. Cool.
Which oddly enough, we still have heard nothing about their master.
Silence. Well, this is a pleasant surprise. That fool
Nah, a little too much.
Now we can deal with all of
What?
them at once.
Oh, I've been trying to see if maybe making Bill Cipher like the spirit of the Chernobog, or just have him work for him. I'm always never.
I would not go that far, Joel.
Yeah, maybe just work for him. Be his own entity.
Don't mix together two Disney villains in that way. I wouldn't do that.
Once Upon a Time does it. Once Upon a Time already did that.
I assure you.
Yeah, I would not recommend that.
Well, to be fair, Once Upon a Time makes Rumpelstiltskin the Beast, so that works.
True, but then again, Once Upon a Time it gets a little ballsy, and from what you've told me, maybe a little more often than it should.
I wanted to talk to
Hey,
you
that
about
Rum Bell is the central relationship of that series, so and it works, kind of.
my workshop.
It's only when weirder things happen, like I'm trying to think of like the weirdest combination of characters they did.
Oh, all right then.
Shoot, I don't remember. I mean, they made Peter Pan Rumpelstiltskin's father, so
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
strange, but it works for that series.
Context, Joel. Always remember, it's always about the context.
Yeah, probably should have it actually just happen during the war.
Who do you, actually, here's a question. Do you think, their master had Ericus's Keyblade?
I thought he would have the Master's Keyblade.
The no-name Keyblade?
Yeah, Lucius,
The one
which
that
is
Xehanort has? No, I don't think so, considering that Keyblade's on the wall. So maybe he has, the Master Defender, considering what it does. I imagine they're at the Land of Departure, I guess.
maybe. By the way, Cole, I'm starting to really think it might be young Xehanort who he plays.
That would actually kind of be refreshing, and thematically and gameplay refreshing to do.
And I only say that because, I mean, you could be completely right, and I could be completely wrong. But I feel like there's been no real indication to give Ericus that sort of spotlight.
Yeah, especially when considering how he was written in Birth by Sleep. I don't
Well, not
know
just
why
that.
you would give him.
Well, not just that.
Yeah, but I don't know why thematically you would give him that kind of spotlight, other than him to be an antithesis to Xehanort.
And considering how much of the opening focuses on just Xehanort alone, in the
Yeah, but consider we haven't seen the entire opening, so bear that in mind too.
that's true.
We've only seen apparently Nomura said that he edited the parts of the opening together with the song, so it's not the full opening. I didn't think it
I've
was.
just been
anyway,
blowing by
considering,
this world, by the way. Like we're already on the Maleficent bringing back Oogie Boogie part.
Yeah, it's only, we might as well just do another world. Might as well try to get through some stuff that just like, why not?
All right.
We've only been going for like 28 minutes, so. But yeah, this world must be a lot easier than I remember it being.
So yeah.
It would be interesting to play as Xehanort because thematically it would mean a lot more.
Boogie's kinda bad, and that's super duper bad.
Because I don't know what else why focusing on Ericus would do much, especially if I'm not even sure. Will Ericus become? I imagine Ericus does come back. I don't know.
He's
exactly
in
what
Terra's
role he
heart,
takes.
so yeah. They've already set
Yes,
that up.
but I don't. So I'm not sure. But I don't know what role he takes later.
Intriguing still.
Cool.
Oh, I remember one of my.
Oh, sorry. What? Oh,
You go first because I don't remember this.
do you ever feel that Ericus should have been Yen Sid?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
Like, I don't know if I want to.
love Mark Hamill, don't get me wrong, but honestly, I might be thinking differently if he was just written better in Birth by Sleep. He's probably the worst character in that game, other than Terra.
I know, but it's sort of like Sora kind of seeing this guy dealing with this friend of his that he's had to deal with for years now, and he thought he got rid of him, and now he's
to be fair, there's structurally Yen Sid. There's problems structurally with Yen Sid anyway, considering like why the hell have you been sitting on the sideline for so long? And honestly, if he was Ericus all along, or just played that role, I feel like there's potential for it to work a bit better.
sort of a Dumbledore, or even a Grindelwald relationship.
It may even be a good reason why he put down the Keyblade.
Yeah.
Why Jensen even gave it up to begin with. He just got tired of that ideology. He's like, no longer.
It's time for the Keyblade Masters to end.
Yeah, funny enough, yeah. And him and Sora and Riku making a return again, maybe see him picking it back up again.
And I will not be the last Keyblade Master. Da da da.
Yeah, because I feel like it's worth. Because I love Mark Hamill. I love how he plays Ericus. I don't love how he's written. I actually hate how he's written.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll make that a change in my story. Maybe.
Indeed, you
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, what other purpose does Ericus really have? Because honestly, if you're keeping him there for his relationship with Xehanort, that kind of falls flat in his face. Because I'm like, Ericus, you're an idiot.
Never forget what they did to me.
I'm really curious how they're gonna write young Ericus.
I hope better than they wrote adult Ericus.
That sounds bad.
And Jack, help.
It'll help at least if Drake Bell voices him.
Creamed ya.
That's right.
Yeah, the more I think about it, Cole, the more just playing as Xehanort makes sense.
The last thing I remember.
Yeah.
And it's the only
You were almost
also,
right.
I-
We haven't gotten confirmation, so I can't say you're wrong.
Yeah.
That's right.
Also, another thing, I remember thinking this theory a while back, Joel, and this would be a way for Ansem the Wise to be relevant again.
Yeah.
What if he has a book of prophecies?
Yeah. I could totally see that.
Because considering how the whole data world in Twilight Town works, that would not really surprise me. It would make sense how he's able to come into power like he does. Like he's even king of the world for that matter.
You three, stay here and keep Sora and the
Someone
others
like
occupied.
himself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why he got the name Ansem the Wise.
But do not fail.
So I just thought, I'm like, that could be possible, considering we know he's going to be in this game. Speaking of which, you and I talked about this not too long ago, Joel. You know what the weirdest thing is? The one character we have not seen in anything is actually even on the box art.
Nominee?
Exactly, yep.
Yeah, that is weird.
We have seen nothing of her.
She's on the box art, right?
Yes, she is on the box art. I can't confirm that.
We can't confirm. She's on the box art.
So I don't know, like, I'm like, okay, so I assume she's in the game. If not, then why the hell even include her? It's kind of sad that Naminé's kind of taking a sideline.
Dang it.
Died.
Oi.
Yeah, thinking, oh, anti. Now you see why I hate anti-form so much. You did a lot better than I thought you would.
Cole, let me ask you another question for my fic that I've considered.
Okay.
Do you think Vanitas could upgrade himself from villain to anti-hero?
Depends on how he's played.
Or reluctant ally against the eviler force?
I find Reluctant Ally to be a little more interesting. Are you still playing against him, Joel? I thought you died.
No.
Oh, you didn't die. Oh, okay. I was about to say. Okay. Oh, never mind. Oops. Who have we not talked about that we know is in the... Oh, yeah, Demix and Vexen are in the organization.
Well, aren't most of the organization members back in except for like a few?
Everyone except probably Ienzo, Alias, and Dylan, probably.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how this final battle is going to take down, like, what's this end goal here? What are we looking for? I mean, I know what the end goal is, I guess, but...
I would imagine the big throwdown with the 13s at the 3 Keyblade Graveyard, but maybe the final confrontation with Xehanort takes place elsewhere. Like, I imagine he gets the X-Blade, and then you fight him with the X-Blade.
If that happens, then...
Because that X-Blade has to appear for Kingdom Hearts to even really come into play.
If that happens, then that's maybe where I could bring in the Chernobog. That's like where I'm always trying to think, like, where to bring in the Chernobog. Reminds me of something Hades did in the Hercules cartoon, where he's like putting things on a map and goes, where to put the Hydra.
Of course, Mr. Santa Claus.
I was thinking what you're finally seeing the other Titans in the Hades world.
Right. I think we've known that for a while.
Yeah, and also apparently the one we saw in Birth by Sleep was not the real Titan,
Yeah.
which I find kind of hilarious. I guess just Hades just tries to make replicas that aren't as strong.
Oh yeah, I remember now. We talked about, is Replica getting nominated?
And if Jack knocks, don't open.
We talked about if Replica and nominated are gonna be a thing at the end.
There.
Oh, I don't know. That would require me knowing what the hell Nominee's even doing for me to even get with that. That would require me knowing what they're going to do with Replica.
Lock him up at once.
I still have no idea what the hell they're doing with Dataku.
Destroying Christmas Town.
Are we gonna have like a three-way Riku fight?
Going to make Sora and the other fools come running. And in the meantime, I'll turn
Oh, a
Santa
three-way white
Claus
Riku fight
into
is just like,
Santa
that's never, in no other series can you have that except Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, well, Once Upon a Time has two versions of Hook.
We're talking three of the same people, younger versions of the same person, and then the older guy that are fighting against each other for reasons.
I'm surprised I haven't seen it where Riku's, or regular Riku's the older brother, and like he got these two twins.
And I'm like, why the hell are Dataku and Replica even still kicking? Replica I buy more than I do Dataku.
You can write it where like Dataku's like the good boy, and Replica's the bad rebel, and older Riku's like the one just trying to keep order in the house.
He's like, ladies, let's not fight.
I get. I want to hang out with
like,
Sora. Now
what's-
I want to hang out with Sora.
But seriously, Joel, what would you do with Dataku at this point? What is there to do with Dataku now?
Maybe Master Xehanort needs him for the Book of Prophecies. I don't know. That journal. He's in the journal. Isn't Dataku supposed to even be the journal personified?
Wait, what?
I don't remember what Coded
then what-
says, so.
Then what does that mean otherwise?
I don't know.
I've done a little
Why do we need to, why is he just a walking, talking, like, Book of Prophecies? Is that what he is?
Something's not quite.
Maybe.
I know what it is.
Is that why he's
Learn
there?
more about
I guess Replica's still around here somewhere. I guess we'll see him do shit.
I'm surprised he didn't age. Maybe it's like
Yeah,
the,
me too.
maybe it's like the clone from Clone Wars. They didn't.
No, remember, if he's in the realm of darkness, then he probably doesn't age.
It's too awkward.
Remember, Aqua never aged. Yeah, Aqua's technically in her and probably in her 30s at this point, and she still looks 18,
boogie on back where you came from.
17, whatever age she was, 16, something.
Yeah.
18, I think it's 18.
Who brought you back, you insolent bag of
Also, we see Terranort running around, so we know he's back.
Can't remember a thing.
Very well, you
Also, Winnie the Pooh's been confirmed, and they're doing Pooh's Heffalump, which is pretty cool.
I think we talked about that last time.
They probably did. I don't remember what the hell we talked about last time.
I'm just glad to see Sora. Hey, want to talk about? Hey, I know. I got an idea we can do.
What?
Let's talk about a tweet I found.
Which one? Oh, the one about,
It's from Movie Bob. Hang on, I'll find it. It's down here.
No, I have it. Don't be. You continue playing.
No, I got it. No, this is Aquaman. This is Aquaman review. But
No, you sent me that tweet too, Joel. Remember that?
that's right. I can just go through your thing. But I want to read the thread.
I can read it. You play.
All right, read the thread. I might die here. I don't know why I think that. But I've always had trouble with Oogie for some reason. He's a tough boss.
I never really have. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I saw someone die once. Did you find it?
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts is the epic crossover between the Book of Revelations and the Ninth Grade Sleeper from 1997. Kingdom Hearts is 18 Blood Your Silmarillion. To be clear, I love Kingdom Hearts to death, just on a conceptual level. In a weird way, it feels like a logical distillation of where Walt would have been okay with all this ending up. If you fixated about it, Walt doesn't would have been fixated on anime, yeah. And I just okay. Anyway.
I just find that fascinating.
Yeah, now the whole thing about Kingdom Hearts being the Bible, let's not go that far, but Walt really would have Walt would have probably would have loved Kingdom Hearts.
He would have been fascinated by it.
Yeah, at the very least, because I bet you he would have been a big fan of anime.
Oh yeah, I mean, anime was inspired by Disney.
To be fair, anime is where I believe Walt wanted to eventually get to at some point.
Well, anime is essentially inspired by Disney. Like, what do you think, you know, Studio Ghibli's all about? They're Disney Japan edition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, I mean, to the form of doing darker or more mature stories in an animated format. We use the term mature sparingly, but...
Oh, man. Part of me wants to see that could you imagine the real crossover would have been Tetsu Nomura and Walt Disney creatively joined forces.
The sad part is, though, if Walt had lived up, we still would have never seen what that would have been. He may have had an inkling of what it would have been. He would have never been directly affiliated with it, even if he had lived. Because even if he had lived to his latest, which would have probably been his 80s or 90s, he would have been around the time when video games were starting to arise, but also when they were going through a kind of a dark spot. He would have been around the time when Square was probably getting ready to go belly up.
Well, I'm curious if Walt would have invested in video games, we would have had an entirely different medium. Somebody would have.
Medium, I'm not sure. He probably would have invested in it. I don't know how much the medium would have changed, but I imagine he would have invested in it. I told you the story about Square, didn't I, Joel?
Yeah, yeah.
The one where, yeah, literally, that's how we have, yeah, well, I'll tell it for the stream. So, if people, in case you don't know, at one point, Square at the time, not Square Enix, not Squaresoft, just Square, they were getting ready to go belly up, getting ready to go bankrupt. They had enough money to make one last game, and that game needed to be a huge success in order to pick them back off their feet. If not, it would have been their final game, their Final Fantasy, hence the name. It was released, big hit, and picked them on their feet, and that series has kept going and kept the name ever since. So without Final Fantasy, we would not have Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Because for one, we wouldn't have Final Fantasy, and number two, Square would not be alive. It would not be around. And honestly, without Square, we probably wouldn't have had it in this kind of format today. We wouldn't. Actually, no, we probably wouldn't have had. I would question if we would have had any sort of thing like Kingdom Hearts at all. Crossovers, yes, but in this kind of way, I doubt it. Because if that were the case, because then that would mean Nintendo would have been even more dominant in the JRPG format. And bear in mind, Nintendo and Square have had a long history. That's where Final Fantasy originally premiered on, and hence why Kingdom Hearts has been on a few Nintendo systems. So, it would have been unfortunate that would have been the era that Walt would have witnessed.
Yeah. But the thing, he probably would have been dead by the 21st century anyway. Plus, probably would have been dead by the 21st century if he lived.
Exactly. He wouldn't have gotten to see what gaming really would become.
Not unless you do like some weird time travel stuff, but you know. Like...
Yeah, but even then, I'm like, he would never have gotten to see mobile gaming take off, handheld really take off, console gaming having opening weekends like big budget movies.
I wonder what would have happened if Walt were in Prime and he lived to see this, though. That's sort of like the what-if world I would love.
That is a very what-if. I feel like he would have, if he had gotten to see Square and his dad, that he and Square would have loved each other.
I'm curious what he would have put into Kingdom Hearts. That's my question.
I question that too, especially if he were really fixated with anime. I wonder if he would have gone for a more anime approach. That's the question I have. Is like, how much would he rely on Disney? How much would he incorporate? What would he incorporate? I wonder if we would have gotten more actual anime into Kingdom Hearts. That would actually have been kind of cool.
I wonder if he would have franchised it. Like, nah, we gotta do Kingdom Hearts Rise in the theme park. We gotta have a feature film.
He probably would have tried. Whether that would have worked or not, who knows.
Maybe you would have seen this as video game Fantasia.
Maybe. It's hard to know because it's hard to know Walt's thinking anyway. But
a man with a complicated person.
Exactly. So we could guess all day long, but we would really have a hard time giving any viable answer. he definitely would have been this fascinated as video game as a genre, but I mean, there's a lot to do with it.
Exactly. I mean, he was the first one to get. Oh shoot.
Continue.
I mean, you look at the way he treated animation, so.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. So it would be very interesting where Gamey would be at today in terms of if he had.
I died. See, I told you.
Sucks. Well, the problem is you got to get used to how he fights. The thing is, Joel, what I've learned about you, you are a terrible platformer.
Just put some potions in here, man.
You are a very terrible platformer. If any of you have seen us play Minecraft, this man is a very terrible platformer.
I'm a hack and slash.
Yes, and that leads to your detriment most of the time. And again, I've played strategy games for many years now, so.
Let's skip this.
That's right, away you go.
I wonder if we would have seen other video games cross over with Kingdom Hearts at Walt Disney. He's like, yeah, we gotta get other games in here.
No, but I would have been interested to see how he incorporated his IPs.
Yeah, but I think he would have gone for even other IPs if he really tried. I wonder what. Well, actually, I wonder what Walt would think about all the things his company owns nowadays.
I would love it.
I would really love to think about that.
Considering his whole.
He's like, no, this has to be in here. That has to be in there. That will be in there.
Look, he always runs off.
Remember, Joel, always keep running toward the center. You don't need to run. You do not need to go backwards. It's always going to go forwards. Actually, you always need to. It always goes backwards. Always run forward.
I know.
About a month and a quarter left, Joel. A month and a third left until Kingdom Hearts.
I know. Ain't it something?
Yep.
It's like, and also just seeing a trend and like, oh, it's exciting. Though
Yep.
I do worry about the newcomers who will be confused.
I think that's inevitable. It's inevitable, Joel.
I just hope it doesn't alienate them too much.
Yeah, I hope not either. I have an interesting idea, Joel. Think you were talking to a caveman, okay?
Yeah.
Try explaining your mobile phone to a caveman. Think about that for a minute.
That sounds very complicated.
You pick up this rock, you put it to your ear, you talk into it, and the rock speaks back to you, but it's your friend.
Fellow caveman, hunt to.
Try explaining Kingdom Hearts to a caveman.
Cool, I think you're asking for the impossible. I can't even explain Kingdom Hearts to a normal person.
What do you mean?
Oh shit.
Oh, let me try. A duck and a dog and a small boy save the universe.
What universe?
The multiverse.
What multiverse?
The multiverse basically, think of everything you see now, there are just multiple of them. There, that's it. I just explained Kingdom Hearts to a caveman. You're welcome, people.
Sure. Did not do that.
I think we found Joel's kryptonite, people.
I told you this would be a hard boss.
It's not that it's hard, you're just doing it in a really weird way.
How am I doing it in a weird way?
Well, for one, platforming is not your strong point, Joel.
Well, I've been following just the strategy like normal.
Yeah, but you're getting a little too far back.
I know.
Things will come back, Joel. You don't have to keep running every until you get pushed backward. You don't have to circle backward. There you go. Oh, shoot.
Okay, good. Got it. Phew.
Good.
Take that. Hey, I did it.
There we go. Try explaining your TV to a caveman, Joel.
Mystical portal.
It's a mystical portal where you can see other people that aren't here. Yeah, that's how you explain it to a TV. It's a thing that lets you watch people that aren't here.
All right, Christmas is safe again.
Ooh, Donald's being savage. He stepped on a bug.
Perfect. I'd better get down to business.
Oh, I forgot Christmas is the danger. Oops. I find it funny we're playing Christmas Town again right near Christmas.
Nope, you ought to stick to Halloween and spooky stuff.
Is it funny that Donald and Goofy's costumes are a bit more colorful than Sora's?
Wonderful. Why, I love it. Thank you.
Makes more sense to me.
Jack, do you really have to do this?
But I make a splendid Santa Claus.
Listen here, Justin.
Well, thankfully we haven't had any internet trouble.
For that, I'm very grateful.
Famous last words.
Promise you won't cause any more trouble. And about that suit.
Have a little more faith in me, Joel, will ya?
Taking over
Yeah.
me again.
I just thought you could use a little help this year, Mr.
Also,
Claus.
Don't Think Twice, people, has also been released, so if you want to listen to the full version, go listen to it. Want to buy it on iTunes, go buy it. It's quite good.
Yes, being Santa Claus can be tiring.
Tis good. You can also pre-order the opening song on iTunes as well, so go do that.
When they discover the presents I've brought them, makes it all worthwhile. Year after year.
Also, people, remember, that trailer is on the 16th, 18th, whichever day it is. I don't know anymore. It keeps changing.
Shiver with
Stop
fright
changing the war.
if someone tried to take all of that away from you.
Never change an Amora, except when you do, because don't do that, but do when you do, and I'm sticking by that.
Mine is to take care of Christmas, and yours is to
Man,
take
we're really
care
not
of
helping the fact that we're on drugs, Joel.
I mean,
That
I'm
we're
kind
not on drugs, that we are not on drugs.
I'm tired, so.
Halloween, Mr. Jack.
At least we got through one well, had a good discussion, so there's that.
Night of nightmares. And even though you're fascinated with Christmas,
Sad Jack.
Halloween is your true specialty. Don't you see? Children will
It's weird seeing a sad skeleton face, skull.
need your attention, and I know Christmas needs mine. Urgently.
So Joel, how much of this world did you do without even remembering you were doing it?
Good chunk until the final boss, where I started to have to concentrate a little harder.
That'll really make them scream.
Jack! Oh, Jack!
Also, yes, people, you will be getting the coded discussion probably Christmas.
You everywhere. We must go over
That is our Christmas present to you, so look forward to that.
without your approval.
So true.
Also, you may see a couple commentaries in the future. Not sure which ones you'll get, just know you'll be getting them.
Soon, hopefully soon.
Won't be confirming or denying them, but just say it may get a little tangled.
Preparations to finish.
Maybe we'll even freeze over a bit. Get a little.
There's no time for joking.
Maybe 6 of us will come together.
For our Halloween.
Yeah, in a big heroic moment. And pop in for a merry time.
Yes, a very merry poo year as well.
Hmm.
Man, we weren't even trying to be blatant about that.
I like the.
Yes.
What?
What?
Oh, nothing. That's a
But yes,
sad.
do look.
Oh, sorry.
Say it.
I would just say I like Sora's Final Fantasy. Sora's final mix costume for Christmas Town.
I believe
Oh, I do too. I like it a lot better than just his standard Halloween Town attire.
Was the one
But
who
yes, do
told
look
you
forward to a
there's no such thing
Tangled
as
commentary
Santa
because you will be getting that sometime soon.
Yeah.
We won't
did say
promise you
that.
we get everything that's in
Be
Kingdom
sure to
Hearts
give
out,
him
so
my
don't be
very
expecting that.
best wishes.
I will, but do you know where I can find Riku?
No.
And Sora's got a lot.
Don't give
Sora's
up.
got big teeth.
Remember,
Mhm.
you believe in Riku,
It could be the world though, make his teeth extra big.
just as you found
True.
me.
Wonder what world makes Sora's teeth the largest? Probably Lion King.
You could get fangs.
Yeah. I want to see him just go to a world. He's like, are my teeth bigger in this world? That'd be like a running joke. Like whenever he gets to a new world, he's like, are my teeth bigger?
I'm surprised they don't make I can't understand Donald at all jokes.
What does that mean?
DuckTales has a funny running gag of like, we can't understand Donald, so we just have to guess half the time what he's saying.
He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But worse. I made one little joke in my chain of memories thing about when Donald started like really ranting about like, what if we lose our memories? What if we can't find the king? You know, he does it in the Donald voice, and Sora's just like, okay, first off, I didn't understand half of that. Second,
You should do more stuff like that, Joel, because that's pretty damn hilarious.
see, I'd show you that stuff, but then you always say it doesn't sound like Sora. It sounds a little too modern.
No, not about that stuff. Some stuff, that kind of stuff where he's like, "Hey, I didn't understand any of that," but
That's funny
or
enough.
maybe just have Sora say, "Hey, slow down. Stop quacking."
That's a little too much. Let's see, what
Yeah,
world
that-
is it? Okay, 28. We need to level up some more.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You still gotta do Twilight Town. We'll probably do that. We'll probably do Lion King next in the next video.
But do Lion King next, or...
You want to go because you said you were getting tired.
Oh, well, I'll do this gummy ship mission.
Yeah. Or
I thought
maybe
one-
have Sora look at Goofy and said, "Did you understand any of that?"
Oh, that's another good example. That's another good idea. I'll do it during the. But I don't know. I'm pretty attached to my joke of like, okay, first off, I didn't understand half of that, and second off,
Well,
I
that's
think
fine, but it just have this time. Don't have Sora up and say I want clarity in the words you invoke. Like, don't do that.
it's like something Riku would say. Did you understand half of that?
No, not even. Oh yeah, did you understand half of that? Yeah, I imagine Riku saying that. Like imagine he's with Mickey and he looks at me and says, "Do you understand any of that?"
Well, I mean, that's what Huey, Dewey, and Louie always have to do when they're. Cause they... That's sort of a running gag in DuckTales. Is like some people can't understand what Donald's saying half the time. It's like just kind of go, okay.
So
That's
I don't know if you know this. One accent I can't help but do and make fun of is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I cannot stop not loving that his accent.
Oh, blah 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 Governator. Get the chopper.
Let's see if I can do it. What was that? Are you kidding me? I thought people wanted to see my new movie. I thought people wanted to see a comeback, but instead I get like 9 to this opening weekend. People don't even give a fuck anymore. But Jeremy said he would do my movie, so let's get going. Let's get down.
Put the cookie down. Oh man, remember that? Put the cookie down. Put the cookie down. Put the cookie down. Put the cookie down now. Put the
Cookie down.
Back when I used to watch the NC, it's like Schwarzenegger months.
God, Schwarzenegger has some of those quotable months. Get to the chopper.
Cause it's Arnold. Gotta love Arnold. What? That's who we need Kingdom Hearts. We need Arnold in Kingdom Hearts.
Oh God. Not in my town. I'm the Keyblade Master.
I actually do like. Okay. So I do actually
What?
like cool when my fic adding a bit more of modern day humor, or at least dry. I love dry humor. I like that kind of humor. Like sort of like, did you understand that? I didn't understand that.
Wouldn't it be funny, Joel, if Arnold Schwarzenegger voices Ericus and say, "No, it's Master."
Oh, Xehanort, you gotta get away from the darkness. We have to keep the
I want to
balance.
hear that so badly now.
No.
I so badly want to
Arnold
hear that.
Schwarzenegger voices Master Xehanort. That is... Oh, sugar. Uh-oh, I'm gonna die. Let's see what happened, 'cause I'm... Oh, yay! I got away from him just in time. Hooray! Woo.
Let's see, what is that quote? What's the Xehanort quote? Only in time will you realize I have truly won.
Do you like the key? Well, it used to be full of power. What the great Keyblade
All
Warrior?
worlds begin in darkness. The heart is no different. Darkness starts within it and glows, consumes it. Such is its nature. In the end, every heart returns to the darkness whence it came.
Darkness conquers all worlds. Blah. I'm the Xehanortator.
God, what the hell is wrong?
Okay, we're level 26.
I pity anyone who makes it this far and wants to just hears us quoting Kingdom Hearts lines in Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice.
I don't know. Without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts is light. We've been able to meet again, but we'll never forget each other. I could totally see actually Schwarzenegger saying that.
I've come to see the door to this world. A meaningless effort. One who knows nothing can understand nothing.
Like, that would be good as a Arnold Schwarzenegger line. Do you want? Are we doing Lion King or not? I don't know.
No, I think after this most people will have tuned out.
Yeah, I think once we start just quoting Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know we're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I think because after that one sword, yeah, time to go.
Blob.
That's all, folks. That
Okay.
is all, folks.
No. Bye, everybody, and remember,
No,
may your
no,
heart
you're doing it. No, you're doing. No, I got it. Don't worry, we'll be back.
and may your heart be your guiding key.